Supposedly. Well, welcome all. My name is James. We're doing my Super Death Grind, 2 years of grinding relentlessly hard. This is week 9, day 1, October 26th. It is currently 3:54 in the morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I did do the good old fashioned death grind video yesterday from my sauna because that's apparently my in-home recording studio for both this and music. And while this is going on, I'm just gonna check my phone, log on this live stream, and ensure that my audio is working. Because my son was here in the office on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure he messed up my nice mic. So there's that. Not his fault. I should have put it away. Yes, make America fresh again. Will Smith for president. Um, so yeah, this was a. This is also brought to you by Diet Coke, caffeine free, which is delicious, by the way. Mm, mm. Get you some Coca Cola. So this was actually a pretty hard week. Hard week. Um, this was so my hardest days were Friday and Sunday of last week. And just reflecting back on that, Mondays and Fridays are always insanely busy in what I would say my job, right? Historically speaking, Friday was also very busy, and my energy levels were low, partially because of I'm trying to kick the old caffeine, and yeah, it's just couple that with not having enough caffeine or is caffeine the amount of caffeine that I'm used to having. Couple that with it being really busy. Couple that with feeling very hungry because my hunger levels were way off. Um, it was a bonkers day. My whole staff was burnt out. Sent them home around 3:30. I was trying to get out of here early. I ended up working till about 6:30 or 7 on Friday. Then skedaddling home, and then Saturday was a good day. It was a good fun day. My kids came to the office with my wife for part of the day. There were UFC fights that were happening, and they were in Dubai, so the fights are usually at like 6 p.m. my time, but they were actually at 10 a.m. So we decided to order them in the office, bring the kids, the fam, my wife, one of my other colleagues, and one of his friends or clients. So watched the fights. They stayed a little later. We spent 3 or so hours in the office, had a blast, tore it up, had to clean up the office after they left. It was a lot of fun. And then I was going to have a light work day. I think I ended up not getting home until 7 or 7:30 that day. And then I think I got 5 hours of sleep ish. Uh, Saturday actually felt really good with my caffeine intake. I have been just doing body weight workouts for about 7 to 10 minutes a day for the last couple months, and I ended up actually going to a gym to work out on Saturday, and it was so some interesting things that I might have touched on yesterday, but I probably need to dedicate a whole video to. Is that I was just as strong. I felt size wise just as big as I've been continuing to work out in a gym using free weights, um, which was insane to me. And it made me realize I've wasted a lot of my life in a gym when I don't need to. So I'll do another video just on that later. But ate a bunch of food because usually when I lift heavy weights, heavier than I'm used to, do more isolated isometric movements, just like singular for bicep, tricep, or chest, even if it's like a compound movement. I usually up my protein intake that way that day, and also my calorie intake, so I can, benefit from that hard workout. Because yesterday I was feeling a little sore, but today, yeah, a little sore, not as bad as yesterday, but I want to take advantage of if I'm actually breaking down muscle tissue. So rolling into Sunday, yesterday was also one of my more difficult days of the week. I was so tired. I don't know what it was. I want to say I woke up somewhere around 3 to 4, and um, I felt good. I felt well rested. I felt like I ate just the right amount, like not too much food, because I'm still fasting like 20 to 22 hours every day. So it's hard to cram in, 2,500, 3,000 calories in that 2 hour window. But, I basically eat until I feel like I want to puke, and didn't really have that much sugar. Usually on Saturdays, I bump up my sugar intake, and I didn't really have any sugar because I didn't have any ice cream in the house. I didn't go buy any, so. But I didn't really have a whole lot of sugar. I did have one miniature Baby Ruth yesterday. Love Baby Ruth. Hashtag Baby Ruth. Hashtag sponsor me, Baby Ruth. But woke up. My son woke up around 7. I had to go run an errand to pick up some stuff for work between 7 and 8. So I went and did that with my son. Came home. We're hanging out. Good times. My wife ended up waking up around 8:30 with the rest of the gang, and I was just so tired. So I went and I took an hour nap ish. Woke up, just felt exhausted. You know, when you like wake up in the middle of a sleep cycle, or you just feel exhausted. I woke up and I was, it was one of those days where like everything was a chore. Like being horizontal was a chore, and beyond that was life threatening. So that was kind of unfortunate because I usually like to have energy levels, for my family, and it just wasn't there. And I had a bunch of work stuff going on, texts and calls and emails, and just running around doing errands for it. My wife had an appointment she had to sneak out to, so I had the kids solo for a couple hours, and I ended up taking another nap. Um, with when my son went down. When my sons went down, I took a nap with them, and I probably got another 2 hour nap in there. So I don't know how much sleep I got yesterday. It was probably like 10 hours with all my naps. And even thinking about it, I'm just like, man, I'm tired. But yeah, I was super tired. So I don't know. Here's what I would hypothesize I was so tired from: working out in a gym, right? I'm not used to demolishing my body like that because I probably got in a good 45-minute workout. It's pretty intense, mostly compound weighted, heavier movements in the 8 rep range, 3 sets of 8, for like bench press, weighted pull up, jump lunges, shoulders. So it's a pretty hard workout my body wasn't used to. Couple that with eating an abnormally high amount of calories. So I don't know if that was a factor there. It could have been a combination of that and the caffeine come down. I'm unsure. I'm really unsure. But yeah, yesterday I was really tired. Kids were really difficult. And, my wife and I both hopped in and out of the struggle bus continuously yesterday. Which leads me to talk about how to be an entrepreneur, and or I suppose I would rephrase that to say just how one would be extremely busy and still maintain a quality family life. And the short answer is I don't yet know. But the long answer is thus: you you need to plan things. I think that's one thing we don't do with our families and our personal life is we don't really end up planning a whole lot of things. So if you want to have a killer time with your family, you can't just roll into a day and be like, what are we going to do? Because you don't know what the weather's doing because you didn't check. You don't know what events are going on. You don't know if things are open or closed. So you really just have to be forward thinking and plan. And usually we do plan our weekends, but for whatever reason, we didn't plan this weekend and we totally paid for it. So, if you're going to have quality family time, plan it. And, during the week, oftentimes I will plan certain events with, like a day date with my daughter or something like that, or take them to the trampoline park or something like that. So, building those schedules in is crucial. Um, Building in special time with your spouse, going on dates during the week, weekday, work day, whenever it is, you just have to be forward thinking and plan those things and not just roll into Monday, Sunday, whatever day it is, and be like, man, it's been a while since we've done anything together. You just need to be forward thinking and plan all those personal events with your spouse and, you know, really focus on you any relationship, especially inter-family. And I don't know how people operate with like 6+ kids. It sounds insane to me, but you need to focus on each relationship individually. And you also need to focus on the relationships broadly. So what I mean by that is, focusing on my relationship with my daughter. So we'll do things one on one. Maybe I'll teach her. Maybe I'll take her on a daddy daughter date. And then beyond that, the relationship with each boy, and then the relationship with the dynamic of the three together, how to coexist in a happy environment, how to share, how to love each other, how to treat each other, how to look out for each other. And then, extrapolate that over to your wife and or your spouse. And the way you should look at that relationship is you have to be friends, you have to be partners, you have to be financial planners together, you have to be estate planners together, you have to be friends. I might have said that. You have to be lovers, and you have to share philosophy and life experiences together. And then you also have to be parents together. And then there's the whole dynamic of how does that spouse fit into the overarching relationship of the family. So to me, your relationship with your spouse sets the tone for everything because having children, at least in my experience, one person is probably going to spend more time with your children than the other person, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you have to raise them together, lead them together, make decisions together. So it's really hard to do all those things and be forward thinking about these relationships. But it's important that you break these relationships down into their integral parts of, because my daughter is not just my daughter, sometimes she's got to be my friend. Sometimes I have to be her father. Sometimes I have to be her teacher. Sometimes I have to be her philosophizer. Is that a word? I think so. So a lot of times there's these different dynamics in relationships that if we don't pay attention to them, we often forget and they go by the wayside. So remember that. Mm. Oh, Diet Coke, man. What are you guys doing there? You're giving me cancer, probably. Um, so that's really important aspect of it, and that is something I definitely did do this weekend, and that's something I'm paying for. So going into this next weekend, and this next week will actually be weird. So not this October 26th week, but the November 1st week. So I'm actually going to do a staycation for various reasons. So from Sunday the 1st to probably Friday the 6th, I may go in the office Saturday the 7th to review how things are going. But um, I'm going to use this as kind of an experiment of sorts for various reasons that I won't get into right now. But So I won't make that same mistake going into next weekend. I'm going to be forward thinking. I'm going to be planning. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Woo! I'm good now. So yeah, I'm really going to be forward thinking. I'm going to plan certain events out. I'm probably not going to work out at a gym, so I don't feel like I have the need to eat a bunch of calories. Because here's what I do know: when you eat a bunch of calories, especially when you're eating in close to maintenance or slight surplus, is you slow down mentally and physically. There is something highly beneficial when it pertains to energy levels and mental cognition when you eat at or below maintenance level calories. It's just, I see it time and time again. Like today, I'm operating a little bit slower. I feel like because, again, I ate not a lot of food yesterday, but more than I would normally. And I also didn't work out. And part of that too was to give my body the ability to recover from that workout. I think oftentimes we work out and we don't realize how much damage we're doing to our body physically. And we just be like, oh, these guys on steroids do it, they're fine. But we need to realize how much damage we're actually doing to our body, physiologically speaking, to our muscle tissues and the different metabolic processes that need to pick up the slack there. And realize that, even especially as we get older, our ability to recover degrades over time. So we need to pay special attention and honor when we demolish our bodies in the gym and take some rest time. So I'll probably do my 7 to 10 minute workout today. I'll probably eat less food today, and I will hop back on that normal eating in a slight caloric deficit starting today. So that's basically it. I really think it's super important to focus on those relationships. And, some things I would argue is that I, right now, specifically because I'm working so much and I'm spending so much time on my business, is that arguably I probably spend less physical time with my kids. But in general, I would argue that I probably spend more quality time with my kids than most parents who are stay-at-home parents. Um, oh, well, I'm remembering this. It would be, and not to like toot my own horn here or anything, but because most of the time I'm mentally aware of this. I'm mentally aware that this is special time and to treat it like that and let's make memories. And I did teach my daughter, or started to teach my daughter, how to play chess yesterday, which is exciting. Um, oh, well, I'm thinking about that. One thing I realized last night, and I just remember hit me out of the blue, and I'm thankful for it, is that my father worked a bunch growing up, and I didn't really see a whole lot of him. But one thing he did do is we played chess together. We played chess together for a while. He taught me how to play chess. We actually had a couple really nice chess sets that I remember quite well. I don't remember a whole lot from my childhood, but I remember that. And he taught me how to play chess. And my wife was like, "Oh, you should learn how to play checkers, bro. Checkers and chess, no comparison. Um, to me, as far as the skill required and the beauty of the game. So I think that's something my father taught me that had a lot to do with how my mind worked at an early age. Because what I realized is the beautiful thing about chess is, you've heard the saying, it's a chess match, which it really is. It teaches you to anticipate what your opponent is going to do and try to take best guess at how they're going to respond to what you do, and try to think 3 to 7 steps ahead of what they're going to do to lead them ultimately to where you want to go. And if they throw you a curveball, you got to throw that game plan out the window and start from scratch and contemplate what it is that you think they're going to think you're going to do and how you navigate those waters. So the strategy involved in chess is beautiful. And I think that has a lot to do with, honestly, how my brain works. It's because it's the ability to break down and dissect what is going on, that engineer's mind of how do things work? How do they work on the fundamental level? Can I break it down even further? What is the real problem going on here? What are the right questions to ask? And how do I reconstruct this in a more efficient manner? And, that's reverse engineering, essentially, which is what you should do with every problem. Because a lot of times we face problems and we don't even know if those are the real problems. So, reverse engineering, you can apply it to everything, including family life. So, um, yeah, man, you got to be forward thinking. You got to be forward planning with your family, and you need to constantly just focus on them. Put away devices, which is another thing, is that, when and this is no fault to anyone here, but when I was up with my son and my kids, or my son, first thing in the morning, there were no devices, no phones, no TVs. And then they woke up and I ended up taking a nap. And when I woke up, it was TVs and devices everywhere. And what I can definitely tell you is that little humans shouldn't be on devices nor have a lot of exposure to TV. It just sours their attitude and it turns them into these whiny little dopamine creatures. And it's just not good for them. It's just too much for these kids. And I can definitely see the mood change when devices are involved around the house versus there's no devices, no iPads, no screens. It's just a much more calm kind of atmosphere. And, the reason I've said and I'll probably continue to say is the dopamine response is that they get this rush and this interaction from these devices that they can't have in the normal world being a kid. And it's just too much. And I wonder what it does for their brain development. I don't know, but it can be great. Um, so no devices. Need to make that a thing going forward. That is it. And I made the switch to decaf coffee this weekend. I think I started it on Saturday. Unsure, but I definitely did. Yeah, I think I did. I think I did decaf on Saturday, decaf on Sunday, and yeah, man, I'm rolling the decaf coffee, and that's all I got right now. So I think transitioning into, I did have a tea yesterday. It was actually not bad. I had a chamomile tea. It was not bad. So I may take up some tea, herbal tea, no caffeine. So I'm basically going to make the decision this week if I can move into November and give up decaf or I want to keep it. Um, and then once I go a week of straight no caffeine, I'll kind of week by week give my take on what I think and how the no caffeine thing is going. So that is it for now. Happy Monday. Be good humans and do